The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Foxy, and our admin, Eisen, as we are here for Division 1, beginning its second week, with Day 3 going live rather early today. At this point, I'm half tempted to say that it's either early or late. There is no in between with us over here at the Pro League. That's just a joke, of course, as it goes. A little bit of light humor. Before we start off the first game of the match, joining the players in the ban phase already on the map of Oregon, we'll be going live with the match between Kira Esports taking on Exterminate Esports. Both teams are going to be fighting quite hard this time around, primarily seeing as Exterminate has been on a huge upswing as of late, while Kira Esports themselves, of course, we know exactly how potent they are as a team and the kind of threat that they pose, even if it is attacking on a map like Oregon. Exterminate on the defense, not too surprising right here with the bans as well. Thatcher, Maverick, Kaid, and XTM, speaking of them, have the last ban on the map as well. They will decide to ban Mira, not the Wamai, interestingly enough. They want to play with Wamai included, but that will make things a little bit more difficult on the other side of round 7 role swap. Though admittedly, role swap is a long ways away, you still have to factor that in, given that XTM will be going into the attack. Seems like their strategy today might just be to get as many rounds on the defense as quickly as possible before Kira Esports can get their engines up and running. Speaking of which, let's have a look at both the rosters that are here in the lobby today. From the side of Kira, we've got Thurv, Rattler, Shinra, Catched, and Amr. And from the side of XTM, we've got Skullix, Rini, Ghost Freak, Bot, and Triggered going to Dorms, and Dorms Main Hall with a Warden pick and a Kali pick in the 6-pick phase. But I've kept the man from the mic long enough. Foxy, how do you do on this fine afternoon?
I feel really fresh, Blackjack, coming into this match. That's exactly what I think, what attitude I wanted to come into this match as well. It's Oregon. I was expecting this, so I needed to make sure at least my attitude happens to offer a fresh wave of what we're about to see here, because just from the looks of it, XTM Esports, they've had an amazing beginning coming into Division 1. It's not like any other team that is just not able to fight back or not able to survive the heat of Div 1, just getting crushed down there. That's not the case for XTM Esports. They've been at it. They've been trying to give more than just a fight to all of the teams out there. And I've talked about this again and again in both the play days we happened to see before this as well. XTM Esports, something, a team, at least a team for now, you've got to be scared of. That out of the way, we just happened to see Skullix come out with his play of the week in the last week as well. So making it over there is definitely, my eyes will be on him once again. And that was on the same map as well. That was in Oregon as well. So let's see if Skullix is looking to make it once again for the player of the week. That'll be a very difficult task, honestly, just coming out consecutively in 2 plays of the weeks. But yeah, let's see if Skullix does happen to bring out those flashy plays it'll be definitely something we'll have our eyes on. But meanwhile, coming back to Kira Esports, there are also our former champions into this league. So it'll come down to more expectations from them as well. It's going to be a difficult match. That is all I can say. And difficult, I say, as in for both the sides of this match, that is, because just as we happen to come out from this, Kira Esports, they're starting off on attack. They'll be the ones trying to get this maximum round advantage first and foremost. XDM Esports totally on the opposite spectrum. They want to make sure they hold down their own. Shinra, meanwhile, that is going to be Avim who will find the first frag. Bot will get taken down. We did see the Maestro getting caught up in the wrong position. That is really a bad position, honestly. Rattler, meanwhile, doing his job. He'll not be finding the second one, though, as he'll get the refrag right in from Trigger. Rene, meanwhile, he's going to get his own, and Ace comes in with the attic push. That's going to be the triple takedown from the side of Kira Esports. It's all down to Ghost Freak and Triggered to clutch this 2 versus 3.
Well, the Zofia is going to be down, and meanwhile, Triggered coming on the flank on Armory stairs and takes down Shinra and drops the diffuser. Big one, but that impact grenade giving away his position. Not quite, though. He's made a very quick rotate into bedroom, going out to try and push the attackers. He will actually, but too late to find Kali, not too late to find a Thurv. A Thurv has just taken down Ghost, who doesn't know where the fact is coming from. He does and gets the kill! Triggered was the one who saw him first, even pulled the trigger on his weapon, but the MPX doesn't have that kind of damage output. As we'll see in the instant replay, the one thing that could have failed Triggered in that situation was him not getting the headshot and a Thurv having the AK in his hand with the ace, the DPS on that thing, winning out over the MPX. Unfortunate for Triggered, it could have been his round to win, but it was the 1v2 for Kira Esports in the end that gives them round 1. A very interesting start from both sides, as it was neither dominating nor was it something that could have gone either way, because, well, it could have gone either way, excuse me. It wasn't exactly one-sided, that's what I meant to say, slipped up there. But Kira Esports, they had a good, solid start, only for Triggered and Rini to start bringing things back, only for them to be swung on yet again. That's a very good start to a match, because that sets us up for a very interesting turnaround. Some tells me this first half is going to be filled with a back and forth, which can only be resolved on the other side of roll swap. XTM nearly had that first round, failed due to an unfortunate situation that they almost had no control over.
10 seconds.
I caught you off guard there, didn't I?
No, that's totally all right. I was just having a quick yawn moment. So I think it's contagious at this point. But no, going ahead on to round 2, we've got quite the defensive setup coming out from XCM Esports, and just that last round, such an unfortunate finish to it. Ghost Freak, the moment he did not come up with that lineup on the headshot, Athar was able to take advantage of that amazing gun he happens to hold. Really good round, amazingly well converted for Kira Esports, honestly. Catch, meanwhile, he'll be back on the Kali, and Kira Esports, we've not seen a huge emphasis on the flank quads coming out from them. Even Ghost Freak was allowed to get in the flank. Oh, Athar just enjoying that, just enjoying the beautiful scene. He's looking at the birds fly on top of the map. But right now, it's going to be more than that he needs right now. Shinra making his way up top armor. He's gotten this control really quickly, and there you go. The breaches are happening so fast. And it's definitely going to be a difficult place. Oh, Ghost Freak, what a connect. What a beautiful connect. That was so smooth. It was really good movement. It was really good crosshair placement. Just a beautiful connect. That'll be a good night for Athar. We'll not be able to take any more. We'll not be able to do any more damage, rather. That was the revenge story, in fact. Just able to come up with that first kill, first and foremost. But here's the push-up from the Hibana. Oh, this is very aggressive. Amar already pushing in. Shinra is here to add up to that as well. But here's Amar adding up to that even more. Bot falls down. Ghost Freak is cleaned up. It's on Trigger and Skullex. But where are they? We're seeing Skullex coming up White Stairs, and he'll get taken down. Shinra, the man, happens to push up. Trigger, meanwhile, does shut down Amar, though. It's been the Amar and Shinra show so far, but it'll come down to the plan that is going down right now from Catch.
Triggered once again, finding himself in a 1 versus 3. Rattler, Shinra, and Catch. Do they know where he's coming from? There we go. The Zofia does, and Shinra will be the one to shut him down. No close clutches this time from the Valkyrie. no hiccups from the side of Kira Esports. A much better take on the attack and a much better push into sight as was required for this team. Kira Esports starting off stronger this time around, taking second floor dorms, going 2-0 up, forcing a site change from the side of XTM, who unfortunately have just been caught in some bad positions so far. Their early game, where they lose bodies, needs to sort of change, needs to work a little bit better, and they need to give themselves better cover, better positioning overall to see if they can make it work. We're gonna have the Kali being brought in once again by Catched and a Jaeger 6 picked in for the
Attackers need to
side of
locate and
the
defuse as many
defense.
bombs as they
We've got
can.
a Oryx in play as well. Unfortunately, Baba's not in the casting seat today. Baba, he would have loved to see Oryx. So if he's in the chat, Baba, it's your chance. Or it would have been your chance. I'm just gonna say it for you. Oh yeah, as it goes. I know he loves to say this. I had to take one for the team, ladies and gentlemen, as it goes. You know, me, Foxy, and Baba, we joke about these things that we do sort of specific to each other. I have my "Are you ready to rumble?" Baba has his "Oh yes," and Foxy has his dad jokes.
10 seconds to
But
go.
Interestingly enough, Skullix is asking for a rehost
5 seconds to
due
go.
to an unfortunate lag-related situation that he seems to
Attackers
be
are
facing
moving out to
for
locate
the
a bomb and
side of
defuse it.
XTM. So the rehost has been approved, and we will be going ahead with this rehost. Unfortunate, but it had to be taken because they were well within the timer to take the rehost and get themselves in a better connection position, and hopefully we can come back from that very quickly indeed. 2-0 being the scoreline, both rounds taken by Kira Esports. Exterminate, I mean, at the end of the day, as good as a team as they are, at some point you do expect them to not show that kind of energy because they are still a fairly new team to Division 1. Coming from Div 3, they've had a fantastic journey, and even in Div 1, they've shown the best of the best what for and really had a good run, but there will always be that one, two, or even three teams, really, we don't know yet, who will be fighting back that much harder, who will prove to be that much harder to defeat. And Kira Esports in these first two rounds has certainly proven to be that way. Kira's attack on Oregon has been one of those unmatched attacking sides, at least, this season and the previous season included. But all things considered, XTM, they still have a good chance to bring this back. They still have a good chance of turning it around. We've seen them adapt to these sorts of plays, these sorts of disadvantageous positions better. And in they've come back from worse situations, is what I'm trying to say here. And hopefully they can do that one more time. Because again, for as much as we would like to see Kira Esports finally bring things back for themselves after a couple of unfortunate play days, shall we say, I would also love to see XTM start bringing things around and putting themselves in a better position, giving a good fight to Kira Esports, even if they do lose in the end. Again, that's the speculation from my part. I'm not some sort of fortune teller. I can't exactly say what the outcome's about to be, but whatever it is, we are in for a good game. Now, quickly, before I pass the mic on to Foxy, I want to touch on the fact that we didn't actually go for the pause timer right there, even though it's in the game, primarily because, and this is something I found out today, but our host and admins actually knew about this a couple days ago when they tested things out. Interestingly enough, the pause timer is only available during the pick phase. You can't actually use it during prep phase, and well, action phase was always a no-go. But yeah, it's only there in the pick phase. Once the round actually begins, once prep phase starts, the pause timer is no longer there. And seeing as Skullix asked for the rehost about 10 seconds before action phase, we couldn't exactly use the pause timer right there. Unfortunate, we've been looking forward to seeing how the pause timer affects, rehosts and whatnot. And certainly, I'm pretty sure some of us were let down by this revelation. I myself was kind of let down by this revelation. All things considered, I thought at least prep phase would be covered, but nope, it is not. And that's why rehosts will still be a thing if they are called within the prep phase or action phase. Although action phase is mostly the territory of admin rehosts, which doesn't happen, but when they do, it's not exactly the best time. I mean, both Foxy, Baba, and myself, we've all had some really long reho screens, and as I'm sure a lot of our viewers remember, but right now, XTM versus Kira, XTM not off to a great start. Kid Esports off to a great one. So, Foxy, what do you have to say about these two rounds that we've seen so far?
Honestly, just from the looks of Kira Esports, they've started off very strong, and that's what you expect out of them. Former champions of Division One. I think that's a title to establish where they happen to come from and what kind of potential they happen to bring to this match. So no surprises here. Honestly, it's not like I was not expecting them to take 2 rounds straight first and foremost. But XTM Esports, they're coming awfully close. That's something I happen to notice as well, and this is something I happen to talk about XTM Esports before into Division 1 as well. They've been amazing coming into this division. They've been able to give a tough fight to everybody that's out there. And that's exactly what you love to see out of this team. And just as we happen to talk about, there's so many teams that have made this amazing comeback from a huge mount, in fact, from Division 3 all the way into Division 1. We've got Valiance, we've got XTM, we've got Havocs, and now who knows if Team Clickbait might be on its way to Division 1 as well. But that's just me talking. We've got Nat as well. In fact, we happen to talk about it coming back to Division 2. There's so many teams that have had such an amazing graph of their performance just going ahead. XTM Esports happening to make it till here. Will they be able to beat our former champions right now? I think that's the question we all need to ask. You come down to a moment like this, you want to make sure your performance stays on point, because then you just happen to be a one trick pony. You want to make sure that you bring your maximum, your best potential. It does come down to this 1 month of intense grind for each season for that huge chunk of prize money and obviously the bragging rights for the champions of the Pro League. But apart from that, I'd love to see an amazing match come out from them. This is definitely not going to be a one-sided match. That I can assure, because Kira Esports might have started off with an early lead. 2-0 looks very comfortable, looks really good. XTM Esports does not like to keep their opponents in that comfort zone. They like to bring them out of it. And I think the rest of the rounds will be a revelation of that. It will be just how XTM Esports try to break down Kira Esports. And I think that's what we're in for.
Most certainly. That is, the feeling is mutual in that regard. XTM, they have come back from worse, and we've seen teams come back from really terrible situations. I mean, 1-5s to 6-5s, it's certainly possible. XTM themselves have done something similar before in previous matches and previous divisions on their climb up to the top. And right now, with only one player remaining to join the lobby, that's from XTM as well. Now that I look at it, Kid Esports are all in, and we're just waiting on that last player. So a quick rehost, nothing too long. At least, again, I hope I don't jinx it by saying that. But so far, it's been an interesting game indeed. Kid Esports, like Foxy said, being the former champions from the previous season, they'd like to retain hold of that title, and that comes with its own pressure in and of itself. I mean, just ask Union Gaming, who have so far had the longest stint of being returning champions in the league from the previous to this one itself. And they can tell you, they can probably give you a very good recount of the kind of pressure, the kind of responsibility of sorts, if I'm allowed to use that word, that brings to the table in this sort of a huge league, if you will. Kid Sports certainly feeling that right now, but it seems like they're not really bothered by it, not by much. And I wouldn't expect any less of a team that has gone on to beat the best of the best before. They've been in much tougher situations themselves. They're a team that has weathered many storms and fought many hard battles. XTM are just beginning that journey, and Kira Esports will be sure to show them the ropes, the way of the land, and really put them through their paces. XTM right now, there's just the last ones. There's just the new ones in this area, in this division. We have Valiants, who themselves are, well, they're not exactly a new name now, but they were a few months ago when they came to Division 1 in Season 5 of the previous league. That was another journey that we covered with a lot of praise for Valiants, and we still hold a lot of goodwill for Valiants here, because they've just been one of those teams, one of those standout teams that we've been looking for so long. Exterminate currently hold that same potential, and I'm seeing in them what we saw in Valiants, the potential to be one of the very best in the region. And both those teams have always sort of drawn the attention of many of our viewers across the seasons, across the months. And XTM right now, I mean, they're just that kind of team. Given that Scullix and Bot, both from former KL11 Esports, I remember that team as well, one that we looked to very favorably, but just didn't have the same sort of breakthrough that Valiants did, if you will. Currently here with Rini, Triggered, and the rest doing what they do, XTM really hope they manage to climb, really hope they manage to, give Kira Esports a good fight, because that would force Kira into bringing out their less popularly used strategies. And when you start seeing that in a match, you're in for a good one. And recently we've had some really great games in Division 1, Div 2, Div 3, you name it. So continuing that trend would certainly help things by quite a bit. XTM still waiting on that last player, interestingly enough. And even more interestingly enough,
Hmm.
Scullix was the one who asked for the rehost, and he's already here. And their
We've
last
had
player
somebody
has,
else.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the last player has had to restart their entire system because of some system related issue. Well, that's not exactly going to help the rehost timer, but as it goes, we're just waiting, we're just chilling, and seeing what we can come up with for the time being.
Oh yes, that is of course true. It's something I still want to address is the fact that all of these teams and their addiction of just going back to Oregon always. You know, I was very mentally prepared just before heading on to this match today, coming back onto the stream that once again I'm sure it's going to be Oregon, and yes, it
Yep.
was. And there's just no point of surprise anymore. We come on to see Oregon so much. It does not matter what division it is, but the moment we are done with the qualifiers, it's been the Oregon show. Qualifiers were a nice place as well. But yes, coming back to Div 3 as well, we got to see some nice maps, at least in the week one of it. Let's see what week 2 happens to offer from Div 3. That'll be coming later into the week. People do not worry about that. But right now, the division in hand, Division 1, it's where the action goes down, as we like to call it. It's where the top tier teams will be fighting against each other right now. Yeah, Kira Esports and XDM Esports. Just waiting, like we happen to say, but something that we happen to share out of Kira Esports as well. I think they've been really good with their operator role swaps that we happen to see come out from them. Usually, in fact, you see Shinra, that is Avim, of course. You see Shinra and Amar taking control of the situation almost all of the times. And even if it does not come to that, there's always Rattler on the Ash that you can always rely on, and just bring that aggressiveness, that really random aggressiveness that he happens to bring on board, able to catch his enemies off guard. That's something I think you should always strive for. And Kira Esports, the way they've been playing with their new additions, it's really good to see that happen. Cat's a really lovely addition to their team. He's been adding so much more value than what we get to see that usual Kira Esports than in general. 2 rounds already on board for them, especially when they happen to be on attack. But like I said, my bet will still be on XTM Esports. We've seen them come out with a fight quite a lot before, and this might just be the case once again. XTM Esports might be the ones bringing in the fight to us and not Kira. That out of the way, we'll still be waiting for just a little while more people as we happen to get the last man connected back into the lobby and we head into it. But as that is happening, I wish we could somehow get the players joined in onto this conversation, Blackjack. Now have like a little
Most
live
certainly.
interview of sorts,
Hmm. Hmm.
because it definitely will give us insights as to what they are thinking right now with this tactical time that is given to them into just going down and breaking down what they need to do right once the rehost happens to come off of effect. So yeah, we've seen these really good opportunities come out for teams to just take this time and make sure that the strategies are set straight once you happen to head into the match and nothing happens to come out wrong. But that being said, people, looks like we might be taking a little longer than expected, and that's why we're taking a quick and a very short break. But we'll be right back after it, people. See you soon after this very tiny break.
The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the game between Kita Esports and Exterminate Esports on the map of Oregon. We are back after an unfortunately lengthy break that we had to take because Ghost Freak from the side of XTM still hadn't reconnected for whatever reason, but he is in fact back. Everybody is back in the lobby and we'll be joining them live going into the third round of this match. That is going to make things even more exciting indeed. We are headed once again to Basement Laundry and Supply Room from the side of the defense, the side that we were already on, interestingly enough, and we had to go into the rehost well into the prep phase. Hopefully no more of that, as I mean, I'm sure for all of our viewers that was a slightly less than stellar experience, if I'm allowed to say that. Right now, with the side being Basement, with the Kali pick, once again coming in from Cast. I'm interested to see that Div 1 actually has 2 Kali players on Oregon. Both of them are in this lobby itself. So you have Skullex, whom we have seen bring out Kali multiple times on this map, especially when the site is Basement. And now we have Catch today, meaning at least bring out Kali for these first 3 rounds. An operator that has certainly seen her rise in pick rate because of that SPSMG9 secondary, the Claymore for flank coverage, and the Lance, the main gadget, the Thatcher replacement grenade, as I like to call it.
5 seconds to insertion.
It's certainly going to be very interesting to see the future where if we see Kali be brought out just as frequently with whatever changes, of course, that are planned for this game. We're only in year 5, of course, and there's still another 6th year to go at the very least, all things considered. Drones coming out from TEC Esports, they know that there's going to be a hold on elbow. They see those ADSs, but they also know that there's somebody potentially on the 2nd floor. That looks like it might be triggered the Oryx. In fact, it is. Shots are being fired in the meanwhile. That sounded like it was towards blue, and it was, which is Rennie's territory. He's trying to take a gunfight towards the barrels, but he will actually fall up and go above to try and find one of the attackers. There is Zofia. That is Shinra droning himself in. Sees one. The castle. Scullix is going to have to fall back and try to reposition to take the fight elsewhere. Rattlers clear that tower in the meanwhile, and Rennie's going to find Catch. That is your Kali of the board. Big drop with a headshot as well. The mute starts things off strong.
That's going to be the first kill the Kali taken off the board, and that means we'll not get to see that anti-denial and just that very smooth breach come out anymore from the side of the attackers. They've still got enough soft breach to just work with it. We can definitely see Rattler and Shinra bring out their utilities. But right now, it's going to be eyes on the defense. Ghost Freak bring out his impact freak. He's just going to make sure he establishes another line of sight. And look at that. The castle barricades all the way up top. It's going to give them so much more map control just to work with. Scullix and Trigger, both of them working with each other. It's going to come down to this quick rotations that they'll have to make. A minute and 20 remaining. I've not got any huge pushes coming out from the side of the attack anymore. They're still trying to find and just pin down the side of the defense. They don't want to leave any of these roamers alive. And that's exactly what I would do as well. Just trying to shut down the side of the defense one by one. We still got ourselves a 4 versus 5. No other killers come out except that first one that we just got to see from the mute. And Triggered here. Meanwhile, adding up to it, Rattler will go down. This might just be the round for XTM Esports to come out with. No bot, in fact, takes down Amar. And here's the kill from Triggered. Oh boy, this is coming out to be a flawless round from XTM Esports. Will that be a third? It's all down to the man in a 1 versus 5 ES situation. He's going to get the first frag, but he'll get shut down right quickly back from Ghost Freak. That's going to be a quick frag for the Legion to walk away with an XTM Esports. Like we talked about in that series of rehosts, they've got their comeback coming, and they will make sure they bring out that power that they have there. There we go. We've got the first round on board from them. We might as well see the equalizer come out, but this is still the early phases, or we might slowly, or we are slowly going into the mid-match, and round 4 will be underway.
Round 4, going back to 2nd floor kids dorms and dorms main hall once again. It's going to be very interesting to see how the side of XTM approach this, given the fact that I'm seeing a Ella being brought in by Scullix this time around. Rennie going out of the mute into the smoke, bringing in that extra bit of area denial and a time wastage for the side of the defense. Much required, all things considered, for them, for XTM. While TEC Esports, they, of course, have their own work to do in terms of their attack. Unfortunately, the last round, very sloppy, very all over the place, and quite one-dimensional, if I may, because their push through blue bunker, completely denied, and their push through 1st and 2nd floor of tower, also denied, leaving a third of the last man standing, where they couldn't even get a single body off of XTM's roster. Very, very unfortunate indeed. And hopefully they can make amends for that round. Ghost Freak going out into garage as the Legion on 1st floor, spotted by the drone. He's gonna have to fall back. I don't know what he wanted to do there. Maybe go for a spawn peek, early kill, something like that. Will not be able to. Scullix in the meanwhile, FO12 in hand. Gonna bring out that shield as well. Ella, one of those operators that still retains her deployable shield, given to her very long ago, in fact, harkening way back to the time when she used to have an impact grenade and when her primary Scorpion was practically overpowered for all intents and purposes. Really opening up a new line of sight towards that games room table bot. He's about to come into gunfire, mind you, because there's a push coming in through bedroom and from armory corridor. Here's the barbed wire, sees the Zofia, gets the down, gets the kill. First frag off, only to get refragged, trying to re-enter towards site. Ummer will shut him down, but does he know the F12 was this close? He will now, and Skullix has to fall back. He's trying to, but he's stuck in the rotate. Rattler's covering, but the Ella can't get away. Rattler will take a kill. That's gonna leave him exposed. He gets the down on the Kali. Can he get the Hibana? No, didn't even turn around. Got far too greedy on that kill. And Ummer is gonna shut him down, get the refrag. But oh, here we go. Rini comes out with one. Ghost Freak finds another, and the shotgun will find catched. And that is gonna be the smoke taking 3 out on the balcony. I didn't even see that second kill until the down was confirmed on the kill feed. What a beautiful play right there from XTM, knowing that the push was required in that situation, and they went for it, all guns ablaze. 2-2 is the scoreline. Kira Esports being caught off guard. On the other side of this rehost, shall we say, first floor, excuse me, is going to be the site of choice on meeting hall and a kitchen. Round 5, a beautiful, beautiful 4th round as that push from Rini the Smoke going out, shotgun and SMG in hand, onto 1 down and 2 very much alive and very angry attackers. Kira Esports definitely did not expect that.
They did not. XTM Esports coming in with the equalizer. We just happened to talk about this. That retaliation spirit will be back from this team, and yes, it is. We'll be headed to kitchen and meeting. Let's see what they happen to come up with out of it as well, because right now they want to make sure they get the advantage. They're on the equalizer, but pushing for that advantage is the priority for XTM Esports. You might as well be looking at a possible 4-2 conversion, but Kira Esports will not be an easy opponent to beat. They've been able to get the best of them for 2 rounds. This might just be the round that Kira Esports might be able to get on board. Ren will still got him back on the smoke, making sure all of that reconstruction comes into place and that rotations and whatnot. I still got the action phase underway though. Athar running with the ace, very trusty. He's been good with it. He's been able to provide so much more utility for his team as well, and also fragged when that is necessary. Oh boy, Rattler might have just missed the Valkyrie. Triggered. Will still get that drone away. Very likely so, and oh, that pre-fire. Rattler might have gotten caught. Oh boy, that impact just did not work. Rattler will make sure he gets that headshot. Trigger will be the one to take the fall. That was a little too aggressive coming out from the side of the Valkyrie. That's not the best of plays, honestly, coming out from her, but we've still got the Valkyrie shut down. She won't be able to come out with her plays anymore. Rattler knows that there might be an angle being employed here. He did hear the impact come out. Oh, the Maestro just spotting the Ashen. Moment ago, could not make that conversion, not quickly enough. Rattler now knows that pre-fire, there's somebody on that hatch. They still got Skullix playing all the way on the top of the white stairs. He'll just be playing this up with a little more patience. He wants to make sure that he wants to play this on his front foot. Does not come out to give the attackers any sort of advantage. Skullix, though, he's given away some advantage. He's taking some damage, that is. I'm not sure from where that came out of, but it is definitely something that is going to put him in a dilemma. There you go. You can clearly see the confusion on his face as he happens to make that moment, making his play up top armory. This might be the flank that he needs to make right now, along with his friend. That is the smoke, as the attic control is happening from the side of Kira Esports.
That out of control might just be contested, but Shinra is going to contest the Vigil and lose. Well then, hello, Ghost Freak. He finds a big one, and that is the Zofia off the board. Rini, meanwhile, you just saw that sniper bullet whiz by, but one tap! Oh, SMG beauty! As a third is going to find Ghost Freak. In the meanwhile, we've got 2 SMG-11s posted up towards tower. One going for the long angle, window to window, while Rini is trying to still gas off that entry. Meister finds one, only to get found. Rattler with a double as bot goes down. Ummer, oh, that's unfortunate. Couldn't vault away in time. He has been downed, and the revive is going to come in potentially from the Ash. There we go. Rattler saves his teammate, but not before so much damage has been done, and you still have to go through the SAS brothers. One of them just got a one tap, and there we go. One swing happens. Skullix takes one, only to get refragged. fragged, and now Rini has to stop the plant. Doesn't know where it's happening. He could go for a drone hole peek,
Attackers
actually,
activating
but
the
he
diffuser.
won't. I don't think he knows exactly where that is, but he's going around to the hallway. Will he be heard? Yes, he will, but it doesn't matter.
Located the diffuser.
Rini, SMG-11 on his fingertips, will take the clutch as well. The one tap onto Kali, and then the clutch play going out of tower stage. We'll see that in the instant replay as another round, this time on Meeting Kitchen, goes the way on the defense. Exterminate, bringing things around on the other side of the rehost. I'm gonna run out of space noting down plays. I'm just joking, of course, but it is still a very good time indeed for the side of Exterminate Esports.
Definitely is. We've got 3-2, and they're looking like they might be able to secure one more round. Looks like I was wrong. Kira Esports not able to get the best of XTM when it happened to be a site like Meeting and Kitchen. You come on to a site like that, we've seen the attackers take the advantage so many times. That is not just going to be the case today. Round 6 will be underway. Let's see what we happen to see out of this situation. We've got Skullex back on the castle, and we've seen XTM Esports bring out the strategy time and again when we happen to see them come back to laundry. But the hatch is open. We've got to see them employ that really extended roam of sorts, and it's helping them so far. I would say definitely has Kira Esports getting stopped a little too quickly in their tracks is it's turning out to be more of a challenge for them. They're wasting a little too much time into making sure they have their own information into making those conversions happen. And by the time they happen to make that execute, it's a little too late. We have people like Ghost Freak, Bot, Skullex, all of them just waiting for the right moment to that the enemy has to look away, and they'll pop up on their screens. That out of the way, it's been a really good few rounds for XTM Esports after the Rios. It definitely has 3 rounds back-to-back. That's the hat-trick for them. They look very good in terms of morale as well and the momentum that they've built for themselves. Let's see if they'll be able to take this half-time into a 4-2 possible situation, but this might just be the reading from Kira Esports. They're coming in with the rush. Look at this, the Ash and the Zofia, both of them. And this is definitely heard out from KL11 right now. The first kill comes in. Shinra will get that frag, but here comes the refrag right from Bot. Here's the kill from Bot once again. The double kill and the distraction from Ghost Freak pays off. He gets a frag himself. Rattler falls. It's all on a catch on a third. There goes Cats as well. Make sure that triggered will shut him down a third. He'll keep kicking. He'll get triggered right back on that refrag. We've still got a 1 versus 3. Skullex, Bot, and Ghost Freak. Will they get this kill done, or is this going to be an ace clutch coming out from a third? It could be anything, in fact. His position's been given away. They know exactly where he's coming in from. All eyes on him. This was such a failed attempt of a possible push. Yes, it was. Bot will make sure he shuts down a third. And Kira Esports will be the ones to take this round. Rather, not take this round. And XTM Esports put themselves up 4-2. Round 7, the second half. They'll be going to the second half with a very good turn of events. Boy, oh boy, what are we getting to see here? Is this what it is, Blackjack? Is this what it could be? A Div 3 team making it to Div 1 and dethroning the defending champions.
Oh, it certainly looks that way, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? It is a beautiful time to be an Exterminate Esports fan, most certainly, as they just like we were talking about before in the early bits of this match. XTM on the defense with the Wamai in play. Actually, Wamai wasn't banned, interestingly enough, but we didn't exactly see much of him either. Regardless, XTM's plan was to take as many rounds of the defense as they could, and oh boy, have they done it, going from not to 2 to 4-2 on the other side of roll swap into attack. They have the advantage, and they have a big chunk of momentum going their way. I'd almost say they have all the momentum going away, but of course, it's going to be slightly broken because XTM are on the attack now, and they have to sort of align themselves to what the Esports will be bringing out on the defense. I'm already seeing a Nomad pick from Triggered. We've seen this from him before as well. XTM love to play with the Nomad. They love to shut down flanks and still have an operator with a passive gadget that can push sight. And just like we talked about, Skullex bringing out the Kali once again. That's also what you love to see, because Catched, he brought out the Kali quite a bit on the first half. Now it's Skullix's turn to bring out that sniper rifle and SMG9. Drones coming out towards Small Tower. Interestingly enough, Shinra is probably roaming in that direction, or was, and has since fallen back towards Kitchen and the hallway, and is going back towards site. I say that with trepidation, of course, because Rattler is here on that area inside of dining. You still have Shinra himself, and the Twitch is trying to do some roam clearing alongside Bot, the Ace, the Heartbreacher, going for roam clear. Not sure if that's perfectly advisable right there, seeing as I don't think, none of the other attackers have any secondary Heartbreach gadgets either, so I'm not sure if this is advisable, but Rattler's going to be down in the meanwhile. That's unfortunate. Ghostfreak's going to find Shinra as well. That's a down and a kill, and the Melusi will be converted onto, there we go, Rini takes down Rattler, and that's going to make it that much harder for the side of Kira's defense. They have lost a big asset right there in Shinra going down. And not just that, Rattler as well. Those two are very good fraggers for the side of Kira Esports. Rattler less so. He likes to hang back, wait for his team to do the damage, as we've got another spot coming out on Mur. His position given away. Trigger has done a lot of damage. C4 goes out, will do a lot of damage to the Nomad, but we've got a White Stairs first. The shotgun comes in, but there's cover from Skullix, and there's Bot to come in as well. It's a third again. Last man standing. Ace clutch won't happen. Ghostfreak shuts him down, and that's XTM taking yet another round. Ladies and gentlemen, on the other side of role swap, who would have thought we'd see that much of a dominating push coming out from the side of Exterminate Esports? Second floor dorms being the side of choice once again, but in that last round, what a beautiful push. Roam clear, quick, clean, precise, and then we had the push into sight. Nothing that Kira Esports could do that would allow them to, just bring it around. A third keeps finding himself in those situations, in those ace clutch situations, but there's only so much one man can do when your opponents are performing this well. 5-2 is the scoreline. We've got a Goyo being brought in as well on the second floor. I just noticed that from Kira Esports. And with that, second floor dorms is up on the chopping block once again.
Oh boy, this might just be the moment for XTM Esports to take advantage of. You happen to see what they happen to come up with, a 5-2 advantage, but more importantly, it's the fact that they have a 4 versus 5 staring at themselves right now. This might just be the place for them to take advantage and head on to match point. Will we see them take that or not is a real question right now. Skullix, once again, he's back on the Kali. Ren, his brother the Ash, Bot will be on the Asen. It's been a very standard pick of ops that we've got to see from them once again. Ghostfreak bring the Twitch though. Really loving the emphasis on the Twitch coming out in this run, especially from Ghostfreak, because of that F2 that he happens to rock. He'll love to play that, and that kind of aggressive force is what we expect out of him. Let's see what we happen to see going ahead into round 8. Prep very standard coming in from Kira Esports right now. They'll have to rely on that Goyo a little bit more, and Rattler with that new pick is going to still make sure that drone work. He tries to deny as much information as he can, but this might just be a lost cause, because we have seen XTM come out with such a beautiful dismantle of a situation in the last round. They just happen to take down the defense one by one. This time around with one man on the deficit, Kira Esports have a very testing performance right now coming into this round, especially. Round 8 is going to be the testing waters for them. It's going to come down what they're really made of, that potential, what they happen to hold. It's going to come that display of skill if they so happen to bring it on board. That's exactly what I'm here to find out. Trigger, meanwhile, he's going to make sure he has maximum life insurance for him with all of his air jabs placed all in around him. He's just going to let the Goyo walk away right now. Does not want to give away his position, which does get given away anyway now. Look at that, just making his life insurance a little more reliable. All of the air jabs placed into that little triangle, that corner around Trophy. Don't really blame him. That's more than enough. It's more than enough insurance for him and his team. No push-ups will get noticed. There'll be no flanks coming out as well. Ghostfreak meanwhile does find the flag. That'll be the first one. Rattler does get taken down. The White Stairs push is expected, but Ghostfreak, he's still trying to find somebody else. Does not want to prioritize his kills right. There was a possible flank from White Stairs, or is that one of the other attackers? That will be the side of the attack. Still XTM Esports does not want to abandon the YCS push. Let's see what the last minute happens to bring us.
Interestingly enough, Kira Esports are playing a 4 versus 5 right now because Amar disconnected not too long ago and there was no push. Not sure why, but regardless, the push is still coming in from the side of the attack. XTM are in. Bot is in here. He's the man with the diffuser. Has to be very careful on these rotates he's making. He's found catch. He's found a third. And will he find the last one? No, he won't. Shinra's coming in with a potential play. No, he isn't. Triggered will shut him down before Shinra could get that final kill. That one kill was really what was required, but no, as the smoke clear triggered, he was just busy one-tapping through that smoke, blind firing a little bit just to shut down any flanks. Didn't deter Shinra, of course, but that didn't matter because he went down like the rest. That's going to put them on match point. Exterminate Esports, that is. And we are getting closer and closer to a quick finish from both sides. Headed to basement, laundry, and a supply room. This is going to be a very interesting round from these teams. Kira Esports, again, still nothing from them. I believe, well, that leads me to believe, that whatever Amar is facing, unfortunately, isn't allowing him to reconnect, and hence, Kira Esports are not asking for any rehos. They still have the time, mind you, up until action phase comes in, but still nothing, and we'll update you on Amar's situation when we get any news. For the time being, Kira Esports not calling for anything, playing the 4v5, going to basement, laundry, and supply room. XTM, match point taken. I mean, coming back from the Rios, it's been them. It's been their show, hand and foot, if I'm allowed to say that. And they've just taken 6 straight rounds. And imagine taking 6 straight rounds against Kira Esports, and Kira had all 5 of their members. They were playing admittedly a little fast and loose, all things considered, but XTM, they still did well to take 6 rounds in a row against this team. Now they have one chance to extend this match. Kira Esports have one chance this round to give themselves another breather, and another one, and another one. But will they really be able to third? Hiding behind the blue little generator machine there, Ghost Freak. Wait, did he not see him? Something tells me Ghost Freak might not have. He's going to jump in. He's going to look towards the Valkyrie. He won't. And there we go. Mistakes were made. That was very loose droning right there from the Twitch. He paid for it with his life. And now XTM are in a 4 versus 4. Bots taking some damage from a Thurv as well. Thurv himself has been dealt some damage too by the AK, forcing him to fall back towards site. With 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, Kira Esports equalizing the man count could potentially give them the round.
That might be just it. We've got still Rattler picking up a fight potentially. That's coming up on the side of meeting. Triggered, unaware of the position that Rattler might have come up with. And there you go. Rattler is going to get that frag very easily. So just happens to come around the corner and gets that kill for himself. That'll be a double kill for the side of Kira Esports. Definitely take advantage of. Trigger and Ghost Freak have been taken down. This might just be the downfall of XTM Esports. You've seen them come out with a little more confidence than before, but with this round on them being on match point, was this overconfidence? 3 people still left alive from the side of the attackers. You've got Skullx, Ren, and Bot. The Ace, we've got a good opportunity of the Heartbreach going down as well, but Ren will make sure he shuts down a third. That's the Valkyrie being shut down right now. There's a very important kill coming in from the side of the attack. They want to make sure they take this slow and push this with a little more meticulousness. There you go. Rattler is making sure that he adds up to that instruction. Ren will take down another kill as well. Where did that come? No, sorry. Ren will go down from Rattler, and that was the C4 that came out from him. It's all out of Skullx. And a 1 versus 3. The Kali finding himself in quite the difficult spot, but Rattler will make sure he gets that final frag, and quite the show from Rattler. It was the Rattler show coming into this round. The Melusi just able to do everything single-handedly. It'll make sure Kira Esports stay alive and kicking in this match. Round 10 will be underway, and we'll be seeing them put one more round on board. But that does not take XTM Esports away from match point 6-3. And this is quite bizarre. You happen to see the former champion of the Pro League getting taken down by the new team that is in fact first time playing on Division 3. Very, good story for XTM Esports to boast about, and and I'm sure that is going to give us so much more spicy moments and interesting conversations in the interviews we have later.
Most certainly. In the meanwhile, we've got a Blackbeard pick coming out from Ghost Freak out of Sam Fisher. Interestingly enough, trading intel for an operator who can really just
Defenders,
push
protect your
site
bombs from
like
being
no
defused by
other.
attackers.
Even after all these nerfs, all these years, Blackbeard remains one of Rainbow Six Siege's most divisive operators. And I can tell you, the frustration from playing against him is something to behold. I mean, you log on to Rainbow Six, and you will Rainbow Six Twitter or Reddit, and you'll always find somebody who's just gone up against a Blackbeard and lost a ranked match, and they're venting their frustrations, understandably so. I mean, he breaks one of Siege's golden rules, the one-shot headshot, and I mean, online Rainbow Six notwithstanding, Blackbeard himself, his presence alone makes for some very like very high pressure on any defender who's about to go up against him. You hear the rattle of that MK17 coming towards you, and you know that's the death knell right there. You got to be very careful in how you choose to play that gunfight. Ghost Freak in his hands, Blackbeard might just become even more deadly, all things considered, but you still have the rest of XTM to really worry about as well. Again, Kira Esports, they are a man down, and interestingly enough, we're seeing the DMR come out for the Blackbeard as well. That's going to be, oh, well, never mind. I talked quite a bit about the Blackbeard. Guess I ended up jinxing him with the Caster's Curse, because Ghost Freak will be the first one to go down. I believe that was Rattler who took that kill. Again, Rattler really stepping up for his team in the absence of Ummer, formerly known as Death Ummer. But for the time being, it's again a 4v4. XTM are being a little bit more fast and loose than they need to be for the time being. Not watching their flanks or not droning enough, if you will, allowing Pira Esports to get away with those small things and get the jump on them. We've got the Lance going out onto his bedroom along with the Summer Beaches. Those won't be stopped, of course, and the hard breach, the standard stuff being taken care of. We've got Skullex holding that angle, I believe, as well, outside from the balcony, as the ADS will burn through one flashbang and one only push is coming out. The Goyo nearly finds one, but he won't, as another ADS is there apparently, and the third one. Wait a minute, that's quite a lot of utility burn right there. Skullex takes a bit of damage from that Goyo as well. Catched, doing work right here for his team, putting XTM in a very unsure footing. Going, oh, there we go, there goes the Nomad, catched. There's nothing stopping him today. Minute 15, and suddenly XTM are on the back foot again.
XTM Esports really need to make this push happen. More importantly, it's not just that they happen to be on match point, it's the fact that Kira Esports is able to get the better of them, and they're trying to slowly push for that possible equalizer. We might see a possible Rios come in as well. Shinra, meanwhile, does happen to keep adding up to it, but Skullex gets a double. Kaz and Shinra, both of them go down to him, and that was a very important frag for XTM Esports. 2 versus 2. We're back on the situation. Skullex and Ren, both of them very low on HP, but this might just be enough for them to make this happen. Knowing that somebody coming up white stairs, Ren is going to get that frag. This is a 1 versus 2 for Rattler to win once again. This is going to come down to a very influential play for him if he wants to make sure his team stays alive and breathing. Rotate comes in from Attic, but Ren knows more than that. He knows that the bait should come in from that possible peak, and that will be it. XTM Esports people will be the ones to take down the champions who once happened to be of the Pro League. Kira Esports will. This was quite the match, Blackjack. Honestly, 17 XTM Esports. Man, this is very meta changing. You know, just in terms of how we happen to approach the winning meta of our region. XTM Esports are lining up to be the potential champions right now for the season.
Oh, most certainly. I mean, right now, going back to the table, I checked it just a couple days ago. Actually, yesterday, I was doing some back end information just for today's casting session. Union Gaming, they've taken both of their games in the earlier week and are up top there. But XTM, with this win, are pushing themselves up to be, setting themselves up to be potentially the new big bad of this region. It can still happen, mind you, and they still have to go up against some other very, very dangerous teams. But right now, we'll be talking about more about how XTM really took this game on the other side of Rehost, the first Rehost, on Relive the Moment, where we go over the best moments that we had in this match. And really, most of it's going to be an Exterminate Esports highlights reel, but Kira Esports started off very strong indeed. You had that very close first round, mind you. Something that I was talking about at the end of that first round is how that first round indicates a much closer game than we ended up seeing. And I mean, what we thought was that it would be a close game that maybe Kira might take and keep the lead on for the most part. XTM makes a comeback later on, and then it goes to overtime. I mean, overtime is wishful thinking at this point, looking back. They say hindsight is 2020 after all. But second round, Kira Esports very dominating. Then we had that lengthy rehost, only to come back and Exterminate to start dominating. Ridiculously good from the side of XTM. Kira Esports just not showing up on the other side of that rehost, and not really, not showing us what we've come to expect from them. That tightness, that coordination on the attack, it didn't seem to be there. Something was off, something was forcing them to falter, and whatever it was, it certainly hurt them in more ways than one. We had this push-up from the Ella Skullex, trying to go big right there. Didn't turn around to find Umar in time, and that really, he had to pay the price for that, only for Rini to come in with a huge triple kill. And that, oh boy, let me tell you, sitting here watching that unfold on screen was insane for us here at the caster's seat. It's one of those things you get to see from these sorts of teams. They really play, sort of shackles off, if you will. And then here we go, Rennie. He's just done so much this game. 12 kills at the end, if I recall, and that one tap onto Kali on tower. It's just stuff that you see. It's this stuff that you love to see from these teams. They're here to challenge, and they're here to dethrone the best of the best. XTM did that today by taking down the former champions of the previous season, Kira Esports. And right now, that's left that top spot in quite the open slot, if I may say so myself. It's a power struggle for the time being between all sides involved, and XTM are certainly making a good argument as to why they should be the ones up there at the top leading the charge. And there were so many situations where, Shinra in this situation in a 1v4 couldn't make it work, and then you had Arthur being caught in so many 1v5s, 1v4s. The man was, I don't know if he was having a bad day or a good day, depends on how many of those he could take. Otherwise, he wasn't able to, unfortunately. Excuse me out there. And then, of course, playing the 2v4, Kira Esports, very unfortunate, couldn't get Umar back, and they really felt the loss of that fifth. I mean, there's not much else I can say about that without sounding like a bit of an idiot if I were. But as it goes, I mean, I'm not exactly the brightest tool in the shed, but, even I know when to show restraint, as it were. But, of course, jokes aside, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a quick break before we come back in a moment with the second game of the afternoon, and that is a big one. L2K taking on Union Gaming on the other side of this break. Stay tuned. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co host, Foxy, and Abin Eisen, as we are here for the second game of the afternoon and this first stream's last game. L2K taking on Union Gaming, a pretty big game, all things considered. And given that UG, as of their previous match in the last week, seemed like they're finally getting out of that slump that they had for these last couple of months, L2K, on the other hand, not so much. They've had a bit of a rough time lately. Maybe they can make amends for that as well. UG on the uptake, L2K kind of shaky, but not quite in a bad position just yet. It's going to be either side taking home the victory today, and we're going to find out who it is. We're just waiting on everybody to be into the lobby quickly, as we were supposed to go into the game, but unfortunately, as we came to our faces, L2K had a disconnect. They were all in ready, but apparently their last man has had a net disconnection and is coming back ASAP. That's going to be something to look forward to. As soon as he's here, we will start the game. And speaking of L2K, they've had a name change. I don't know what prompted that, but they've had a massive name change as of late, and we will go into that later on when we are introducing both sides. Speaking of which, L2K, all players are in. So before we get in, Foxy, what do you think about this match that we have on hand?
Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting match. We've seen L2K and Union Gaming, both of them come out to be very amazing teams just from what we happen to see in this league. But apart from that, it's going to be a very nice match. We're headed to Clubhouse, a very old favorite. We all love that. We all love that map. We've seen so many things come out of on it. So it's going to be a very standard stuff of what we get to see just on a general scale. But yeah, just as in general what Clubhouse happens to offer us, it's going to be an interesting outtake as to what Union Gaming will bring out in the first half, as they'll be the ones on defense first and Live to Kill happen to be starting off on attack. But that out of the way, that's enough talk from me and Blackjack people. We'll be heading into the match right now. Team L2K, Live to Kill versus Union Gaming on your screens with the ban phase already underway. And like I said, with Live to Kill coming out to be on the side of attack, they'll have to make sure that their priority right now is to getting maximum runs on board first and foremost in the first half of this match. You want to make sure you don't let Union Gaming take away the advantage of them being on defense. And look at that, L2K with the target ban. It's going to shut down Jittery first and
Poor
foremost.
Jittery.
And they'll be the first ones on. Well, they will be the ones on defense. So I'm not sure if it's going to affect them a whole lot coming in the second half. Yes, Blackjack.
Yeah, I had to catch your attention there because I had to ask that Ash ban, does that make that man bitter?
It definitely does make him bittery for sure. Now it's going to make that aftertaste very bittery as well for him, as to just how this match will turn out to be. Mute gets taken down. A very I'd say targeted bans coming out from Live to Kill. We've seen them come out with stuff like this before, so it's really not a huge surprise coming out from them. But yeah, most definitely something that I was not expecting walking into this match. But hey, that's just one thing. And that being put aside, that was the bans that we just happened to come out with: Thatcher, Ash, Mute, and Valkyrie. Well, we are into the first round, but we'll be taking a quick look at the rosters first and foremost. We got Otua, Watermelon. Melon, is that? Am I supposed to
I
go with the
think
melon?
I think that those last three, I think
Yeah,
those last three letters are supposed to have an I in there, watermelon win, because
yeah,
it flows like that better. But I don't know.
yeah.
That's just. I mean, looking at L2K's roster, it's a veritable smorgasbord of a who's who game at this point. The only one I can really identify is Petals,
Fatal.
who is
Yeah,
Fatals. Yeah, but
yeah.
everybody else is like a who's who game.
Definitely turned out to be very different names that they are. The rebranding is real from the side of L2K, but coming back to very old names that we already know: Jittery, Beat, Sparko, Hypertushi, and EX7. So glad I did not happen to missed my syllables on that name once again. But
Don't worry, don't worry. We have plenty of jokes lined up for those syllable mistakes.
Hey, this is going to be the first time I see Hypertishi come out on the UG's roster in an active
5
match of the
seconds
Pro
remaining.
League that I'll be casting. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what Hypertishi brings out with
Attackers
that
must
kind of
locate and
addition
defuse a
to
bomb.
Union Gaming. I've seen Hypertishi as a player for a long time now. I think just coming back from where he started, and he's here on UG's roster, a very decorated team of this region. You happen to come out with a very good performance of on your end itself. So yeah, it's definitely good guys on him. Push play meanwhile has taken so much damage. That's the zero. Sure, where he's taking that damage from, that's from above, and that's coming in from the Legion, I believe. No, Beetle make sure he tries and shuts him down. Watermelon, though, meanwhile, he's going to get that quick headshot onto Jittery. No more of that Jaeger being put into play, and that means it leaves us in a 4 versus 5, a very early man advantage that Union Gaming has lost, and Live to Kill is looking to make it something more useful. Hypertishi still going to be rolling with his cardiac sensor. He's got more than enough information to work with. EX7 rolling up the main stairs. This might be the aggression that he needs right now, but it's the information from the pulse that is going to turn out to be important. Beat just falling back to side, making his way back through the Roosters, and there you go. The Jittery did get taken down. And that aggressive feed that he tried to establish towards the side of stock, but hey, that'll just be it from him. No more of aggression coming in from the side of the defense. They'll be playing on the back foot. A minute and 30
located by
remaining. Let's see what this round happens to bring out.
Most certainly, a Sparker is going to start things off inside a dirt, finding one. Pushpay falls, and now he might just find another one. The Maverick comes in, but no, he'll be the one to win that gunfight instead. There's one more as Fatals tries to fall in towards this door. Shots were fired from Beat all the way out in blue for the time being, going up the secret stairs as Fatals himself will fall back. Shots are fired. EX7 finds one more. That's the Zofia to fall, making it a 3 versus 3. And just like you said, Foxy, Hypertishi coming out for Union Gaming so far hasn't done too much in terms of taking down attackers. The plan's going off as a UMP will go off. Not sure who that is. That is Hypertishi, excuse me. But the tank will still go off, and there we go. Hypertishi will be taken down. He nearly took down the planter, but there's the Kaid on the flank. Takes one off. That is Beat coming up in a much needed moment. EX7 pushing up the main hallway. Will he be seen? Yes, he will. Fatals takes him down, and that is now down to Beat, the last man inside a kitchen, trying to find this Maverick. He can't, but the sledge is pushing up. Does he see the feet? No, he doesn't. Too late, as Beat will walk away slowly, but he still won't be able to get the kill. Nearly managed to turn around onto Watermelon, but it was the sledge to walk away with the final kill. With all that being said, the first round goes the way of Live to Kill. Interestingly enough, shutting down Jittery early, knowing exactly who they have to target if they really want to take the fight to UG. 1-0 is the score line, and we're headed back to Basement Church and Arsenal Room. And I know what Hypertishi's trying to do. He's trying to get us hyped up with that Tachanka pick right there, but he's going to have to 6 pick out of that because unfortunately, reworked Tachanka is not in esports right now. He's not. He's in esports quarantine, if you will. Only allowed to be in esports of Rainbow Six in the 2021 esports season, alongside Aruni when we hit year 6. But of course, little bits of information out of the way. We're headed back to basement. Same defender lineup, and even the same attacker lineup with Sam Fisher in tow.
That is true. It's going to come down to seeing what Union Gaming has to just come out with the reply back, because right now they've been pushed back on their back foot 1-0. The first round beautifully well done from Live to Kill, and like I said, coming into this season, it's Live to Kill who kind of stands out for me in the Division 1 teams of sorts, because you happen to see their way of approaching certain sites and certain maps. It's not something I've seen so many teams come out with, especially I think this thinking spree of me going into breaking down how Live to Kill happens to play out happened to come into effect when I saw them play on Cafe back in one of these league days. They had a very weird attacking push to it, and it superficially definitely looked very standard, just as you happen to get the roam cleared in and whatnot. But the approach and the justification from each role play that each player from Live to Kill happens to bring up is definitely very different from what we get to see from the other teams in the region. Honestly, just coming down to a playstyle like that is very different, and I think that is very evident of the fact that you happen to see the best team of Sri Lanka have something like that. It's very obvious. There's a reason why they happen to be very good. And EX7, though, he'll make sure he shuts down Thadia. That's going to be your Zofia shutdown very early, in fact. That was a very bad peak coming out from them. And there you go. Zero with his intel is going to come out with one of his gadget thingies. I'm not sure what that is called. But yeah, we'll still see make the push-up happen. Watermelon, he's making his still doing his flying duty. They've lost one man, and that's not a whole lot of damage. You've still got your heart breaches, and that means that push will still come into effect. Push pay will make sure he shuts down Jittery. That's going to be the first frag once again being dropped from Union Gaming side. The same person once again being dropped. Jittery not a live enemy. Or EX7 wants to take out this killing frenzy, and he gets a triple. Oh boy, look at the boy swing wide across this map, takes control of it, and now as the diffuser as well. A minute and 20 remaining. Watermelon and Ottawa need to make sure they get this kill on the EX7 and shut him down and possibly retrieve the diffuser. But a 2 versus 4 looks highly unlikely that they'll be able to clutch it out.
It's not only the fact that EX7 is still out and about, but also that Beat is on second floor. Ottawa seems to have caught onto that fact, but Beat has since retreated towards CCTV and Cash Room, holding in that general vicinity, leaving Watermelon the only one to try and retrieve diffuser intel. So much intel being given away to Beat with the pulse from down below as Ottawa pushes up, but the Hibana has absolutely no idea. And wait a minute, is that AUG on single fire? I have to ask, because the way he fired, he was definitely tapping the trigger. Meanwhile, we got the Sledge taking some electro damage from the hatch, electrified down below him with the electro claw. Much electro in that sentence, but anyway, pushing down the main stairs, EX7's coming up, so is Beat, and he's about to meet a very sticky end very soon. No, he's going to make one face's end, and there we go. Sparko will actually be the one to come in to shut down Watermelon. It wasn't the Kaid like we thought it would be. It was Sparko to come in from the hallway, SMG in hand with the smoke, finishing off the kill and getting into the instant replay. 1-1 is the scoreline. UG taking round 2 with gusto on a Basement Church and Arsenal. And with the equalizer coming in, the site will also change, going to second floor, gym, bedroom. Interestingly enough, yet not so, all things considered, for the side of Union Gaming. We've seen this before from them. They like to go CCTV last and go to Basement Church and gym, bedroom, second floor. You know, those are their opener sites. At least that's what it's been here on Clubhouse for the last couple of matches. And who knows, if we see a different map from them, we might see some different site emphases from them as well. But again, you know, wishful thinking. It is, after all, the Esports Clubhouse League. I'm bringing back that old joke. Yes, that's right. Today's the day I'm making the bad jokes, not Baba. Anyway, coming back to the point at hand, it is, after all, Clubhouse, ye old favorite alongside Oregon, and with the Frost Peak in tow, Union Gaming 1-1 on Clubhouse.
Well, coming back to round 3, we've got 1-1 scoreline. The equalizer came back in, right back from Union Gaming. That's exactly what you expect from them as well. But hey, round 3 is here, underway. We've got gym and bedroom as the side. Frost pick from Beat as well. We have seen Frost pick come out when it happens to be a gym bedroom side quite a bit, just in general as well. Frost has turned out to be this one very weirdly random operator you happen to see the teams bring out nowadays. It's turned out to be sort of a Capcan, just with the utility she happens to offer. And most definitely, yes, the traps turn out to be very potent, you know, if you don't see them, if you don't come out to be as vigilant as you expect the attackers to be on. Sparko still making sure he's getting all that reconstruction done well and good on site. Jittery will be on the drone. He's alone over here. More essentially, it's going to be that pressure that the attack is aimed to make on him right now. Jittery is still holding this angle. He might see that push coming in. Oh boy, he just happens to miss it by a millisecond, and he has the Legion to walk away with that frag anyway. EX7 gets that once again. The first frag will come in from the Legion. We've seen stuff like this happen from EX7. He's brought out the play once again. Last time around, it was a triple kill from him. This time around, will that be the same? That's exactly what we're here to see. He's actually rotated quickly back to take another gunfight over here on the side of Cash Room, helping Hypertushi. Sparko holding on the side. There's nades coming out. EX7 still holding down the side onto Hypertushi. He might be the first one. Yeah, no, he's actually come up for the impact trick instead. And oh, the nade connects Petals rather. with the amazing nade connect. Hypertushi will be the one to get taken down. But my, such an unfortunate position to find yourselves in. The exothermic breach happens to go down as well. Tadia meanwhile gets another frag nade kill. That's really good for the side of Live to kill, but he does not live to kill anymore, and that'll be Tadia who will get shut down. Your Zofia, or rather your Sledge, will not be effective anymore. You still got the Zofia alive, the Watermelon. It could make the plays if possible. Sparko holding down the side. He's got the shield to protect himself from the push, from the attack. Is 1 minute left. A 3 versus 3. Anything could happen at this point.
60 seconds remaining, and they yet have to make the push onto construction. Jittery and Sparko holding on towards that region, but you have the Zofia outside of gym and bedrooms windows respectively. Jittery holding inside of logistics on the table at that, just to protect his feet from getting shot out from underneath him. The kite's position given away. Sparko still trying to take that gunfight against Watermelon, but no, he will find Petals instead and get taken down by the Zofia. Still on that window. They need to push in because Diffuser has been dropped, and EX7 will find another as Watermelon is the last one still outside of those windows. Goo mines going off left and right as the Diffuser is caught smack bang in the middle of sight. Zofia can only do so much. He has to go for these 2 kills. Will he find one? Yes, he will. Jittery goes down. Can he find EX7 in time? No, he will be down, and he will be taken care of as well. EX7 gets a triple once again, and this time it's a clutch for his team. The 1v1 with 10 seconds on the board. Union Gaming will take round 3, give themselves the early game lead by taking gym and bedroom on the second floor, pushing sites, changing it, towards CCTV and cash room on the 4th round. I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but the mid to end round transition, the mid round, for more specifically actually for the side of L2K, has been a little shaky. They start losing bodies and they just can't seem to recover as well as they would like to. Admittedly, the gym round was very close, much closer than we thought it would be. However, even then, UG were able to get away because they were able to position themselves accordingly, and the Diffuser drop certainly helped them defend the site much better than if Diffuser was still in the hands of an attacker. Then there could have been a different push, with Jittery going down instead of logistics and whatnot. I mean, there's a lot of ifs and buts in that push that we could certainly talk about, but we'll talk about that in a Relive the Moment much later once the match concludes. Right now, round 4 underway. CCTV, the side of choice.
That's going to be the side of choice from the side of Union Gaming, and just coming out from what we see from EX7 once again, a very good round from them just to take out one more round on board. 2-1. Round 4 will be underway, and just as we happen to see this match go ahead, you're seeing Union Gaming just take advantage of the situation and take things under their control when necessary. That's been a very standard motto for Union Gaming so far. They're just trying to play this on their back foot. We've not gotten to see them very overly aggressive plays that we usually get to see. J3 and EX7 have been the ones left out a little loose, just trying to find that early frags for themselves and convert things into an advantage. But J3 so far has not had that time of the moment for him. EX7 though, on the other hand, has had his moment of shine. He's made sure he gets his frags on board, and once again it'll be the roaming legion coming out to play from this player. Wamai just coming in with his Magnus, just making sure all of the frisbees are well set and into position. The mainstay is being held on by one of these defenders. He's going to come down to the Yana, almost getting his head taken down, beat from above, making sure that it becomes all the while more difficult for her. There you go. Petals will get shut down. The Yana not influential anymore. Watermelon, meanwhile, he gets a refract quickly enough onto Hypertushi. Hypertushi just not able to hold down to the side of Garage. It's all by himself. The Raptors position too early to give away the advantage of the main reach happening with the exothermic charge going away in distance. You can hear that. There you go, Jittery still intending to go with the white peak on the breach as well. And he wins that. How does he win these, man? You got to give it to him. And the second one, the connect, the swing and turn. Meanwhile, the X7 gets a kill on a push pay. It's all down to 30. He'll get a frag onto the Legion, but that's a 1 versus 4 that he just turned into a 1 versus 3 clutch. He's still got to find 3 more defenders with a minute and 20 remaining. Let's see if he's able to or not.
All things considered, 75 seconds is a ridiculously large amount of time that Taria has for himself right now. The Sledge, last man standing, knows that there's somebody in garage, and that is Jittery, the big boss, if you will, but he will go down, actually. That's a good shot, but Beat is here, still watching Lounge through the vertical line of sight that's been made a lot earlier by the meter herself, I believe. And the Sledge, unfortunately, diffuser recovery not going his way. Round 4 goes to Union Gaming. Live to Kill on the attack, having taken round 1, are not having such a good time. I mean, admittedly, Clubhouse is a defender-sided map, all things considered, but even then, you'd think they'd be able to take this match a lot better than they have so far. The 5th round will see us going to Basement Church and Arsenal once again with Sam Fisher in tow and Hypertushy bringing in the pulse.
You happen to see stuff like this come out, as in the first round from L2K was just really influential and very powerful, sending out a message that yes, maybe just coming into this match, we might see them take the advantage and just able to push for that. But Union Gaming was quick to react. They made sure that from the second round onwards, they got everything well and dusted. They got the 3 rounds advantage for themselves as well. 3-1 right now. We're headed to round 5, 1 round away from the role swap, and this might be anything. We might get to see Live to Kill being able to put 2 more rounds on board. That means we'll find ourselves an equalized scoreline in the second half. That's what we usually get to see when it comes to these Division 1 matches. But anything could happen. We got to see Kira Esports getting taken down from XTM Esports today before this. So this is exactly where the surprises happen to come along with the plays as well. So let's see what round 5 happens to offer us. Prep phase will be done and dusted. Church and Arsenal all fortified and ready for the start of Union Gaming to take this advantage further. The action phase is underway. We've still got Jittery strolling on onto side. That's what you expect out of him. You want to make sure all of his AESs come into play well enough and useful enough for your team. After that, you can try and bring out their own play. Study knowing that there's a Legion playing over here. A possible white peak might come in any moment now, but they're waiting. Knowing that if there is somebody on the side of Wild Print, Jittery walks away with that frag. Such an easy one to take advantage of. Push pay getting baited through that Legion play. Look at that Union Gaming's teamwork just coming out so nice and so good. Looks like EX7 does not know. Jittery does not know. There's somebody else watching him right now. That's a drone work coming in from the side of the defense, but Beat walks away with that frag anyway. 30 will the one to go down. It's been a quick double kill for the side of the defense once again, and Live to Kill, they are well, they might be able to stay true to their name, but they're not living in the first place to even kill. It's coming down to 3 quick kills from Union Gaming. Is that 4? No, that won't be 4. Let's make sure that a refrag comes in. No, that is 4 in fact. Spoke a little too soon. That kill came in a little later after that. And will that be 5? That will be. Everybody taken care of. Beat just beat this time with the triple kill, in fact. The Kaid of all operators. And the side was all the way on the side of Church. Where did we get to see the match happen to go down? On Garage. Interesting round coming in from this team as a 4-1. Quite the score, and we'll be headed to round 6. Let's see what this last round in the first half happens to offer us.
Well, so far it's been a very one-sided exchange between both sides. Second floor gym and bedroom will be the site of choice. And can we have a look at the scoreboard? Our dear host, there we go. Watermelon 7 to him, but nobody's really pushed up along with 3-3 from Petals and Taria, and the remaining 2 bringing in the rear with support. EX7 and Beat this time, leading the frag frenzy from the side of Union Gaming. Jittery, on the other hand, he's laying low today. You know, might not be having the best of days, and we actually funny story. Our host Eisen had a bit of a banter with Jittery when the lobby was being hosted, just asking him if he wanted to go ballistic once again today. And Jittery was basically hoping to do the same. Unfortunately, hasn't quite done that just yet. Excuse me, Arthur. There's still plenty of time, mind you, for Jittery. There's still at least 3 rounds to go if Union Gaming are to make this a 7-1 sweep. But knowing Live to Kill, they might be able to take a few rounds on defense, give us a closer game than we are expecting at nearly the halfway juncture of this match. And I say halfway in terms of rounds before and after role swap, seeing as this is the last round before the role swap as well. EX7 Legion Roam, not something you get to see every day, let me tell you that much. Roaming Legion. Ooh, that's a risk that EX7 is willing to take, and it's a risk that has paid off. The T5 SMG, very strong in the hands of a 2-Sweet 2 armor like that operator, and EX7 has put it to good use with the 1.5x that it has been gifted in Shadow Legacy. Jittery all the way out to its strip club changing room. Might want to go for a run out. Looks like he will be. Just got to be careful of the timer, though. The timer is a lot shorter than it used to be, but no, EX7 went for the jump out, but he will in fact get taken down instead. Unfortunate, but the first frag goes the way of Live to Kill this time around, and it will be the Legion, a very important frag. More importantly, that's EX7 gone off the board. CCTV push is up next. We've got Hypertushi, who's about to be next on the chopping block if he's not careful, for the side of Union Gaming. So much that L2K can do in this situation. All they have to do is play it carefully, set it up properly, and make that execute happen. It all excuse me, that really isn't supporting me today. But it's all going to be down to how they set this up, and if they're able to do this, then UG will have a much tougher time defending this round than they otherwise might have expected to.
That's right. Coming down to this round in specific, Union Gaming looking to cement their lead even further, but Live to Kill want to make sure that before the second half comes into place, they're able to get the best of UG. Right now, Jittery in this exchange. Oh boy, the timing of it. The attacker just happens to move at the right time, at the wrong time, is it? No, Ottawa will still be able to get that frag into Jittery, though. He tried to go for that flank, but boy, oh boy, that was a bad position to find yourselves. And Mellowan, meanwhile, will get taken down as well. That was, of course, the fruit. Watermelon will not be alive anymore. Sparko getting that frag. We've still got a 4 versus 3 that Union Gaming could they might as well be able to make this conversion if they happen to come up with plays, but no, Hypertushi does shut down Thadia. That's a 3 versus 3 back into effect. The man count equalized. Here's one more. Oh no, that'll be for Petals to take advantage of it. Look at that. The peek into sight, Sparkle. Good night. Will not be surviving it. It's a 1 versus nothing because Petals is on site and he gets 3 kills just like that. Look at this cleanup coming in from the Ace, gets the first frag onto the main stairs on the Wamai, then Sparko goes down. That was a Kaid on site, and then the finish up onto the Frost as well. What a cleanup coming in from Live to Kill, as they've definitely lived to kill that round, and that was round 6 before we happened to come into round 7. That was the role swap as well, people. And now we're headed to Union Gaming back on Union Gaming on attack and Live to Kill on defense.
UG going onto the attack, 4-2 in the lead. And mind you, losing that one round would certainly have put a bit of a dent in their momentum. But again, this is Union Gaming, our team who has seen significantly worse round 7 roll swap situations than the one we are seeing today. On the other side, we've got Live to Kill taking things in their own hands and finally putting their second round on board. They're going to be going into round 7, another round for the better. But now on the defense, the work is in their hands. Admittedly, site setup and whatnot, they can get that done very quickly. Just a few seconds post prep phase and everything will be ready and prepared. The roamers will be on their way. The anchors will be inside the site. Roles have already been decided, of course. That's just how a team rolls. And And we will see
10
the
seconds
push coming
remaining.
in from UG, whether or not it stacks up against Live to Kill right now. We've got plenty of barbed wires, mind you. Ottawa and Jaeger push bait
Attackers'
bringing
objective is to
in
locate a bomb
two
and
sets
defuse it.
of barbed wire. A couple of impacts from Wamai, who recently lost his deployable shield, leaving Smoke, excuse me, Smoke, once again, the only one with a deployable shield in this lineup that Live to Kill has brought out. We've got the one single C4, admittedly, no pulse from the side of L2K. We've seen this before as well. They don't necessarily like to play pulse on Basement Church of Clubhouse. They don't necessarily like that cardiac sensor, I guess. They don't play around that as much as UG does. Most certainly not even close. UG loves to emphasize on that cardiac sensor, as we saw Hypertissue do on the other side. The
Bomb
first
located
half of
by
the game.
attackers.
But we're already hearing the AUG going off in the meanwhile. Pedos doing some work, potentially trying to get a kill or two vertically, or just opening up some lines of sight for himself, just as EX7 is doing around kitchen and the main stairs hall. That's another angle that Pedals has to be careful of. The slide's going all over the place, but Jittery's taking a bit of damage over here, trying to fight Padilla, who himself has taken quite a bit of damage. Ottawa's here to try and cover for the man, and EX7 is going to find Pedals. Finally, the Wamai will go down. Challenging vertical, not the best idea. It has worked out for him before, mind you. Fatals has done quite a bit of work playing vertically on the side of defense, but today is not going to be that day. Watermelon, in the meanwhile, trying to fight towards the side of dirt. Mellow might have to be careful in that area because it's beat, and the man never misses a beat with those grenades. He's gonna go around trying to find a kill or two, barely missing the head of the smoke while he tries to get this open. As there we go, Mello takes a lot of damage right there. He tried to push up, but there was Hypertushy for the cover to allow the breach to be done by the Maverick.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has
Breach
been
will
dropped.
still
Attackers
the
have
breach
recovered
does
their
get done though,
diffuser.
but just not in the right momentum you'd expect it to. The smoke has taken so much damage it might just turn out to be an advantage for Union Gaming. There you go, the plant is already going to come in. Sparkle has dropped on the side. We are getting the plant being stuck right now. Hibana does get taken on. EX7
Attackers
finds
are
the
activating
refrag onto that
bomb
Hibana though. And that was Otua taken on Pushpay. Meanwhile, will get the refrag onto
Attackers need to protect
on the
the
Sparkle. It's a
diffuser.
3 versus 3,
Position
and we are back into the situation of a post plan. 30 seconds and the clock is ticking right now. It's going to come down to this retake situation for the side of the defense. But here's the Maverick. He's going to get his triple. EX7 has gotten all kills on the round so far, and no, rather that was beat. I'm not sure who that was, but it was quite the play that we got to see from Maverick, and it was a quick 4K for B to walk away with. EX7 was the one to get the 3K though in that round, or 1K though rather. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about, but we'll be headed to round 8, and yeah, we'll be headed to round 8. 5-2 is the scoreline. As what I happen to see right now is, will we happen to see the side of Union Gaming take the match point? 5-2 looks very good. EX7, look at that. EX7 with 12 frags, quite a lot of work that he's been doing alone and all by himself for this team.
Most certainly. EX7 stepping up today and taking the forefront. That's something you love to see when it comes to Union Gaming. It's not always the jittery show, ladies and gentlemen. We've had, when Sandy came into this roster back in
Defenders,
season
protect
1
your
of the
bombs
Pro
from
League,
being defused
he
by
was the one
attackers.
leading the charge, getting the most kills, doing 1v3s, 1v2s with Malusi left and right. I still remember casting this with, well, Mello nearly took out the Legion while trying to make that rotate. Very close. Gotta be a little bit more careful in that situation, guys. But going back to the point at hand, UG have just had this streak, excuse me, of players who can just do it. You know, they can get stuff done, and they can get in there. They can just get themselves into a match and really start fragging out of their minds. Jiri is one of the players who does it arguably the most often. And when he does, when he starts going off, there's almost nothing that can stop that man. He's a juggernaut and a half, and he will just completely tear through any team that dares go up against him. Now, admittedly, he does like to play the Ash quite a bit, and the Ash ban is targeted towards him, but it's not like Zofia is a bad operator. Zofia is an insanely good operator in every sense of the word. And Jittery, manning the M762, definitely has all the tools he needs to make a similar play as he would with Ash. Claymore goes off onto the all pit ladder just to make sure nobody gets any bright ideas on going for some sort of flanks. Excuse me, going for some sort of flanks or any sort of late game plays as we have EXN once again opening up the line of sight. Has to be a little bit more careful there, mind you, because had anybody had the smoke, Mello, who was playing in dirt last time, been very up close to this dirt wall, he would have potentially gotten EX7's head clean off of that line of sight that was just open. But no, the man himself is opening up, probably opening up some lines of sight towards the main kitchen hatch. There we go. Shotgun in hand. He's just waiting for the clearance, I guess. Not sure what he's waiting for, but shots are being fired. C4 goes out. Not going to find anybody as Jittery tries to find somebody towards blue. Unsuccessfully so far. With about a minute and 30 remaining, there's plenty of time for UG to make this push happen, but without having taken that first body, it's going to be very, very tough. But there we go. Jittery rotating around to the main stairs is going to start things off. He's found Fatals. The Melusi is off the board, and with a minute 20 remaining, L2K, that's not the best way to start this round.
Not the best way to start indeed. They've still got the breaches to be done. We're just getting this grenade out to get that Kai charge done, and there you go. He's going to take care of it quickly enough. But I might just be scared with 1 minute left. Will they be able to get this execute done in time? That's the real question right now for me towards Union Gaming. Trying to make this push slowly but steadily. EX7 and Hypertushi, both of them stationed outside the secret tunnel, that is. But making that push any moment now. Jittery, meanwhile, has rotated all the way from main stairs back to blue stairs. He'll be intending to make this push from here. He's got some damage done on push pay. That's going to be the Jaeger. But he still intends to make the push on this man. 30 seconds. It's the moment of truth right now for both the sides of this match. In fact, there you go. Watermelon will get the first frag and start things off. EX7 goes down. 30 gets another. Beat will be the one to take the fall of 4 versus 3. And we are back to see Union Gaming slowly having to lose their advantage. And there you go. Sparkle is going to get taken down as well. Hypertushi will have to attempt the revive. There's only 15 seconds left. There's not enough time, and they've got to make this count. Or Tua gets another. Jittery will fall. And here is a frag. But is this even useful? Sparkle, the last man standing. A 1 versus 3 with no time left. There's nothing that he'll be able to do. And that'll be it. Round 8 goes to L2K as they'll be beating the clock, and they'll be making sure that they don't let Union Gaming take any more advantage than they already have. That'll be a stoppage for them, people. 5-3 as L2K looks to make this push into a possible contender for the first team to get onto match point. Union Gaming is 1 round away from that, while as L2K, they've still got their climb to make. Let's see if that comes out from them or not. CCTV and Cash Room is going to be the side of defense as we happen to proceed to round 9.
Well, they first got to worry about getting actually equalized with Union Gaming. That's 2 rounds to go, and then you have 2 more rounds to go for the full victory push. And that is, of course, notwithstanding the fact that Union Gaming can take a couple of rounds and turn things in their favor. It certainly could happen, but right now, UG are still in the lead. They are... they've got the standard turnaround going their way, but not quite. It isn't quite working as well as they would have hoped. And, they might need to look into what's been going wrong. Primarily, in the last round, what really happened was time wasn't their friend. I mean, it never is. Excuse me, rather. It never is when it comes to attackers. Time is never your friend. But they needed to emphasize on that timer better. They took a little bit too long, and once they started losing bodies, they somehow could not come back from that. They couldn't refrag in time. It was L2K all over the show, and once that happened, UG completely lost their way. Right now, live to kill. Again, 2 rounds to go just to equalize, and then they can worry about getting to match point. It's already been a pretty interesting game, and with the meta placements that we're getting to see from Fatals right there, with one on the main wall of CCTV, It's going to make things a whole lot more interesting. EX7 pushing in already inside of logistics, uncontested, with a drone inside a bedroom, knowing that he doesn't have to worry about anything inside of construction either. Unless, of course, Mello happens to go out towards that region. The Jaeger has been spotted. Beat might go in for a push through garage, or it could be Sparko on the secret stairs window, wherever it will be. Beat, excuse me, right there. The Jaeger pushpay will need to fall. And wait a minute, is that a default camp? I feel like that is a little bit of an oversight from UG's end, because if that is in fact a default camp, still alive after this late in the game, could be used against them if they go for a CCTV window construction push. Seems to be the case for the time being. EX7, excuse me, EX7 is just doing what a sledge does, breaking up on every single wall he sees, and that's not what a sledge does, though. 30 is going to shut him down, and with EX7 off the board, is going to put a big dent on that momentum that UG has been looking to build. But Jittery, oh, I was about to pass it off, but Jittery gets a kill onto Pushbay, taking down the Jaeger. Much needed, but they need a few more before they can get into sight.
That's right. That's just the equalizer in terms of the man count. There's so much more to be done from the side of Union Gaming right now if they want to get match point for themselves. They need to just make that extra huge leap of a push, I guess, because just from the looks of it, it's not been enough for shutting down Liptical's defense and trying to just surgically push through it. It's not worked out so far. Jittery, meanwhile, with the pistol in hand, is going all the way up top on the side of bedrooms. The main breach has not happened, and that's why we're getting to see this. Turnaround of a push from Union Gaming. Or meanwhile, has taken some damage, though. I think that has come out from the main breach instead from the Steiner side. And look at this push up from Hypertish. He's allowed this place, and this is a cleanup for UG to just walk away and take control of the site. The Legion is the only one left remaining alive. He gets a triple. He gets all kills so far from the side of the defense. This might be a 1 versus 2 that he's looking to clutch right now. Jittery and Hypertish, the only ones left alive. All eyes on this one man right now. 30 has got to come up, and around the corner he comes. He gets the quad. Does he get the ace? He's just got to connect one bullet, and it's Jittery, the man you do not want to peek. But no, 30 with the ace, people. He'll make sure he gets this clutch in. A 1 versus 3 that we just got to see from this Legion. What a beautiful performance, and what a beautiful turnaround, and what a clutch from the side of L2K, as they definitely stand out to their name, living to kill.
More specifically, Taria in that round, living to kill all of the UG members, turning around, taking heads left and right, quite literally, with them pushing up now 1 round away from equalizing against Union Gaming. Second floor gym bedroom will be the site of choice, as Live to Kill have taken 2 back-to-back rounds on the defense, pulling themselves even closer to equalizing against UG and making this happen. Frost is going to be 6-picked in by Mello in the meanwhile. Interestingly enough, bringing in those big bear traps, as I like to call them, into the equation once again. I mean, all things considered, sure, Frost's traps, Frost herself, you know, those traps might be big and very easy to see, but it's like Capcan, you know, when you're in a situation where you have to push a window or a shield that hasn't been broken, and you know there's a frost trap on the other side, or you think that there could be a frost trap on the other side, you can't exactly go to break that frost trap because it's very close to sight. And once you jump in, you have to make the decision. Do I go for the kill, or do I break the frost trap and try to get the kill quickly? That sort of indecision, that sort of thinking, that will always be in the back of your head. Pushing in through a door, a window, a shield, vaulting in anywhere on the map, if those frost traps, are not droned out early. And I mean, all things considered, after what Tadia, i.e. Blank, pulled out in the last round, it's certainly not going to be too tough for a Live to Kill to equalize. If they just continue playing the same way that Blank did in the last round, then it will be their game to continue emphasizing on UG might just have something to say about that. Meanwhile, Pushpay is going to find Hypertouchy. Hello, that's a little unfortunate. I just said that UG might have something to say about that, but Pushpay apparently has something to say about that as well. He is going to find an early kill. The Hibana will drop. One of the 3 hard breachers present here right now. And Hypertouchy, the new addition, goes down. Jittery gets the refrag onto Pushpay, taking down the Jaeger. Takes a Gumine to the shin, but he's gonna have to take that out quickly. Watermelon very close on that construction area. The impact is going to force him back. Ottawa's going to have to hold that long angle. Pedals in the meanwhile going to find EX7, another big drop, and now that's going to leave Jittery in a bit of an odd position. He has to get into construction, but there's a Mina window that is not going to help him, but he will still find the Kaid. That's a good drop. Man count equalized 3 versus 3, but that Mina window is still present, and Fatal is going to make sure that that is not going to be all too pleasant for all. We saw it for a second. Fatal's in the meanwhile goes down. Jittery pushes in as a triple. Beats coming in with him, but Sparko's down outside, and I don't think any of them can go for the revive. Beats the man with the diffuser though, so their push might still be safe. Looks like Beat is actually going for the revive, and they've got plenty of time to do it. 60 seconds remaining. Man count will then be in the advantage of UG, who are looking to take this round.
Well, an unfortunate judgment of where that roof happens to come out. Sparko falling to his death almost. He'll be saved. He'll be saved for the while from his teammate, but that does put him on 20 HP. And there you go. This time around, he's definitely going to get the jump done correctly enough. But hey, very weird set of events we just got to see. Sparko getting down like that, then rappelling up, and then falling down just to rappel up on the other side of the same thing again. Weird stuff. Maybe they had some confusion in the comms going on. I'm not sure. I'll be nobody to judge. We'll be ahead with the 2 versus 3 that we get to see right now. Live to kill, looking to make this advantage there. Tadia will go down though. That's Jittery's quad kill. He does not get the ace. He does get shut down. Watermelon and with the double of his own. This might be the clutch that he needs right now. There's no frost match for him to get stopped. But oh boy, what a kill! Frost match or no. Watermelon will get the kill anyway. The triple kill towards the end. Live to kill have definitely been living to kill for the last 2 rounds. They've come out with some amazing performance. And hey, there was some good stuff from Watermelon. 3K and that huge shift that we did not get to catch it on the cam from his perspective. But that shift from the first kill to the second one was so quick as he happened to get that shutdown onto both of them. Really well done. That last kill just happened to add up to that beauty even more. Jittery will not find his ace though, and yeah, that was quite the run once again from the side of L2K. They've come out to be very strong in the last few rounds, and looks like we might see them take match point as well. 5-5 is the scoreline, and we're headed to round 11.
Bringing in the Mozzie and the Ying, I believe we saw just in a quick frame before it went to the loading screen. Yes, indeed, Jittery. He went out of the Zofia and is bringing in the Ying. Candelas galore. It's about to be a light show inside a site. Depends on which side is throwing those lights, mind you, as Pedals has brought in the Mozzie to play around with as well. Mellow in that last round, the 1v3, can you believe it? The 9mm C1 of the Frost, such a slow firing weapon, all things considered, and even then he managed to make it work. Just like Foxy said, turning around very quickly to get that initial double kill burst, shutting down Jittery, and then the other one, and then pushing out to the main stairs, knowing that all he has to do is play it safe. UG, the last player, did not have time to try and plant, because if he did, then the timer would be extended, but he would be caught in the animation, basically forced into it with no way to defend himself, and that would still be the clutch completed for Mellow. So, all things considered, it was a better decision to go for the kill. Unfortunately, Mellow was quicker on the draw, getting the final finisher and getting the clutch for his team. In the meanwhile, Jittery, well, it's unfortunate. He has he's not in the round anymore. Had a bit of a disconnect right there. We've seen Jittery have these issues before, and he's back nice and quickly, so we won't have to go into any rehosts or pauses in the next round,
bomb has been
whatever
located.
the next round may be. Only one team can take match point first after all, and whoever it is gonna lead the way into a very, very interesting situation indeed. Nice skin on Pedals' Commando 9 right there. This is the 3D skin from the Battle Pass, one that I'm working towards myself. It's amazing. There's a little bit of a variation in the shape of the weapon as well. Completely unprecedented in Rainbow Six Siege, but EX7 could have had 30 just a second ago had he gotten the headshot, but he did not, and that will not be good because not only has that given away the vertical push from UG, but that could have also been the man count equalizer. That will not be. Live to Kill still have a 5 versus 4 advantage. Grenade goes out, takes out the Electric Claw, and with 75 seconds remaining, UG need to speed this up.
They definitely need to speed this up, and more importantly, they need to hit that pedal on the metal right now because just from the looks of it, 1 minute left. They've not got enough map
Attackers
control.
have located
They
a
want to
bomb.
make sure they get those kills onto place as well because Live to Kill so far, they've been in control of the situation, and just from the looks of it, on defensive side like Church and Arsenal, these 50 seconds might as well come down to the crossfires that the side of the defense has for themselves on site. Tadia watching the angle on the side of kitchen. There's two people right now focused on the same angle. I don't really blame them. That's where the main push is going to come down from. But it looks like this quick rotate might just be the play for the side of UG. Oh, that pre-fire might have just connected, but not enough. EX7 making the push, and that Legion will get the frag. Look at the Legion pop off once again. Tadia gets that kill under the long angle. He's trying to find the second on that prone peak. Yes, he will notice that, but he's still not found it. Or two, meanwhile, adding up to the destruction. Spot goes down. Here's a push up from Hyper Tushido. He'll find one. Hibana, and that is it. It's all on to the Hibana people. Hyper Tushido, only one left alive with the Legion mine in his leg. He's got to pull it out. No diffuser. There's nothing left to kill. Go to match point. Round 11 is theirs. What a comeback, round after round, slowly but steadily. Live to Kill, let's put themselves up in a position that is about to change the outcome of this match. Match point goes to this team. We'll be taking a quick look at that in the instant replay and heading to round 12.
Well, 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 what a turnaround indeed. Going from 2-5 down to 6-5 match point. CCTV will be the site of choice, ladies and gentlemen, and we are getting closer and closer to L2K beating Union Gaming. UG again 5-2 up. Not sure what happened on their attack, but they have completely collapsed on the other side of a roll swap. They have only taken one round on their attack. That was round 7, Basement Church. And round 7 feels like such a long time ago. The round of ones is in play right now. One round for Live to Kill to end it all, to finish it, and cement this comeback in the history books of the Esports Club Pro League. And one round for Union Gaming to extend this match further and stage a comeback of their own, pushing for overtime and putting the match back in no man's land. It can go either way right here. And once it hits overtime, well, all bets are off and all chips are down on the table. The hands that they've been playing with have been revealed for the most part. And it's all going to be down to which team is able to outplay, outmaneuver the other. CCTV being the side of choice, a very fitting area for the showdown. Arguably second most selected side, but we got a spawn peek. Hello, Tadia, blank IE, going for an early peek, and has now retreated up to catwalk inside of Garage. Hypertishi, not really taking much damage out of that, but the goo mines are going to go out, as will the drones. Jittery put down a claymore there, I believe, just make sure that nobody gets a bright idea of running out. As a meter window just got put down, I believe that Fatals just put down that black mirror on the main CC wall. However, even then, it's not going to stop the Maverick from doing his deed. Beat, rappelling upside down, just making sure he doesn't get shot by anybody on the other side of the mirror, but he has to be very careful of that. And he did miss a spot on that line that he just made using the blowtorch. That hard breach is going to be a lot harder than it looks, primarily down to the fact that he is doing it on a rappel, and a Selma breach on a soft wall. What am I seeing right here? EXM was right there, Marco. It's very interesting, very baffling, that kind of decision making. But EX7, he's going to be doing what a sledge does, breaking open everything in sight, everything soft, that is. While we have Jittery, I believe that is, on the main wall of CC. That's a line of sight from the looks of it. That Beat left it at, and that might be what UG wants, because they are going around towards construction and CC window. And this push, oh boy, this push is about to come in, but no, Vados has something to say about that, and that is EX7's head going down. Flashbangs come in, the meter is flashed, but there's 30 at a cover. Hyper Tissue will fall, that's a Hibana taken care of, and the diffuser has been dropped as well. Minute 10, UG on the disadvantage. Lift to kill, looking very strong right now. Jittery, he's gonna fire back, finds one, pushback goes down, the Jaeger will fall. Now it's gonna come real close.
Oh boy, UG might as well be the ones to walk away with this, or no, they get a refract, quick one. Or I might just say live to kill rather, because that 3 versus 3 is where we are at. The man can't equalize. Anything could happen with these 40 seconds to separate us from the possible outcome of this match. Jittery still down and below. 30 seconds to work with. He's got to make sure he pumps everything that he has for himself into this match right now. Beat coming with the nade first and foremost. That's going to be a nice one. Does happen to dislodge Otua back away from that Mina window, but that is not it. They've got to do more than this. 20 seconds, the plan has got to go down, but first and foremost, the kills have got to come. The long angle being employed. That's the first kill. Will the second one come into place? No. Watermelon gets it. No. Does he find the final one? Yes, the C4 is here, and that's the explosive finish. Live to kill will live another day to kill some other team people. They win this match, take down UG, and shut them down right here, right now. They didn't even let them take match point, man. What a performance coming in from them. Just straight up dominance. They don't like this. You saw that kind of perseverance and that kind of determination coming out from them. The moment UG happened to sit on that 5-round lead, they did not stop. They did not stop that amazing comeback potential. And guess what? They took the match 7-5. What a story that we have to tell today. You know, just coming off from the first match, Kira Esports losing to XTM Esports, and now we've got another amazing spicy match that we just got to witness. I cannot tell you that how well, I think, in my opinion, Live to Kill happened to perform. Just amazing rounds back to back, and for I think that was six rounds in consecution they got a back to back. Was that? Yeah, that is a lot. You know, just having to come around and stuff like this. And hey, like I said, the new meta, as I like to call it, into Division 1 that has entered has definitely turned out to be very different and very, very frustrating for some teams, I'm sure. But yeah, we'll be quickly going into reliving the moment and taking a quick look at the highlights rather. And something I'll have to point out is it's just not that L2K happened to walk away with this man, but this means that the leaderboard right now for Division 1 is going to look so confusing. It's going to look very separated, very distributed. We might have some saturation points come out to the end of it, but this does happen to put things into perspective that Division 1 from now on is never going to be predictable like before. We are getting to see so many amazing teams just happen to come out for that top spot, happening to lose their spot just by a few points. Boy, oh boy, now we're getting to see this huge change in the point differential as well. Union Gaming not being able to walk away with this one in the last match. In fact, 7-3 advantage. Even the round differential, you take a look at that. XTM able to shut down Kira Esports, a former defending champion of the Pro League of Division 1, able to shut them down 7-3. Well, it's quite the stuff we've got to see from them. Once again, L2K, they deserve this win. More importantly, they played amazingly well, and just as we happen to come out to see more and more maps like these being played a little more, I think these predictions as well will come down to very sorted options as well as we happen to proceed forward, because just happen to make these predictions from the map these teams select. It is getting a little repetitive. We're getting to see so much of Clubhouse, so much of Oregon. There's hardly anything different that we got to see except for today. Honestly, just coming out from amazing performances aside, it was not only the strategies that helped L2K win out, it was their sheer solo performance that put them on this position, and it just happens to speak volume. You know, you want something, you get it type of an attitude we got to see from Live to Kill today. They were not giving up despite that huge deficit of the round count. Look at that. Look at the scoreboard right now on the screens, people. As we have to relive the moments towards round 6, 4-1 was the scoreline. They have to make an amazing comeback through it, and that fight, that perseverance is, I think, what is to be commended more than just the win from live to kill. What a display of skill, and I definitely enjoyed this match, just coming out to what the outcome came out to be, despite me feeling a little low just from my health perspective. This came out to just hype me up and push me back in that really hype moment of how we like to love and admire Siege. But yeah, that out of the way, reliving the moments. Coming back to it, the second half turned out to be the moment of shining, in fact, for the side of L2K. And hey, this was a clip and a half, man. This was definitely a beautiful clutch coming in from him. Not only getting the first two aggressive frags, but getting these three conclusive kills as well. That quad kill with the peak that came in from him was so beautiful. And this final connect, I'm not sure how Jitvi happened to just lose this gunfight. You just come down to a situation like this. I was very sure that Jitvi is going to win it. You even go back to this clip, you see me casting so casually, so because I was a little overly confident just on Jitvi's mechanical skills, honestly. Look at that. Just happened to come up with the quad kill in the next round, right back in. And it is what it is. I just was a little too overconfident, but Blank proved me wrong. Told me that no, that's not how we go about it. Just made sure he brought that ace clutch and just beautifully well done. And that was just it, man. Live to kill coming up with some beautiful plays that was just not enough for Union Gaming. This is not something that they expected to see, and but that's exactly where they got shut down.
Absolutely. UG, I'm not sure what happened, but those 5 straight rounds that L2K took, there were moments where it looked like Union Gaming might be able to turn it around. They had the lead in 2 separate rounds and lost them both, once to Blank and once to Mellow. Every other round, L2K got away with a 3-man or a 4-man lead. Whatever worked for them, it certainly made short and quick work of Union Gaming. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the first half of today, day 3 of Division 1. We're going to be taking a little bit of a lengthy break before we come back around 7:30 p.m. IST with the second stream with the remaining 2 matches of the night. And I'm sure you won't want to miss them, because Exterminate and L2K come back on stream again, fighting each other this time, while Demas Force, to close things out, will be fighting out against Red Vipers. 2 very exciting games on the other side of this break, and we will see you on the other side. Stay tuned.